Hey traders, this training video is going to serve two purposes. One, if you are a member of our live trading room, this will be sort of an educational overview for you about the mechanics of how we do the overnight Theta Fairy trade. If you are not a member of our live trading room, this will give you an idea of a trading strategy that you may want to learn and master. We love it. It has become one of the absolute most popular setups that we use inside of our trading room, and it follows along the theme of what we talk about so often, which is highly non-correlated, wildly diversified strategies. We have what we call a model portfolio. We are not, I repeat, we are not a zero DTE trading room or trading service. Yes, we probably have the best zero DTE performance results on the internet today. Yes, we do zero DTEs every day. Yes, we actually do quite a few days where we double up and do 2 zero DTEs in a day. But we also have about 22 to 25 other strategies that we do just alongside of our zero DTE strategies. And so to that point, I don't think there is one singular strategy that exists in the trading universe that anybody should say you should stick with that and only stick with that. So if you're just doing one singular approach, whether it's zero DT or what have you, that's probably not a way to get to the level that you want to get to if you want to trade full time, if you want to make a living from trading, if you want to be a professional trader. So we talk a lot about highly non-correlated, wildly diversified strategies, using 20 to 25 strategies that are not correlated, so that if the Dow drops by 800 points in a day like it just did, you have trades that still make money with that. You shouldn't have everything moving on the same delta in the same way. Well, the overnight Theta Fairy trade really meets that criteria. And one of the things that we love about the Theta Fairy trade is that it really does take advantage of the macroeconomic principle, the velocity of money. So the velocity of money just simply states that money needs to stay in motion to make more money. And the more the motion and the faster the motion, the more money is made. The banking system is built on this macroeconomic principle, the velocity of money. When you take your money in the bank and you deposit it, most people, I think, are aware of this at this point, hopefully, but your money is not in the bank. There is essentially no money in your bank that you deposited all your cash into. They take that money, they take everybody else's money, they lend it back out to other people. They earn interest on your money. It is what Albert Einstein called the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest. Interest earning interest on interest, because that money then comes back into the bank. They take that interest that they were paid, they loan that back out again and again. Now they're compounding, right? Interest on interest on interest. So they're keeping the money in motion. The more the motion, the faster the motion, the more money is made. Well, one of the challenges as a trader is that you will have a lot of your buying power, a lot of your capital sitting dormant at times, where it could be employed and put to use. So we like the metaphor of trading as a business. This is a business, you and I. There's two partners in the business. One partner is you and I. We are the entrepreneurs. We are the seed capital funders of this business. We bring the capital to the business. And then the other partners are our employees in this business. And our employees are the trades that we employ in our trading accounts. And obviously, the better the employees, the more the employees we have, the more efficient our trading can be, the better our profits can be. And so if you have a bunch of employees sitting around on your payroll, meaning money, meaning capital, and you're not deploying that capital, you're not using that capital, it's just sitting there in cash, well, that's an employee that's not producing for you, right? And that happens quite a bit. Now, with our zero DTE strategy, we try to manage this as much as we can. Every day, we're putting this money to use. But there's only 6.5 hours each day that the cash markets are open. We usually wait about a half hour into the day to get started with our zero DTE. And then if ideal situation, we would be out of the zero DTE before the power hour, before the last hour of trading. So the reality is that you're probably only using that money for 4 or 5 hours a day. And then you book your profits or loss at the end of the day. And now you're back into cash, and now the cash markets close, and you just kind of say what most traders say is, well, okay, the day is done. I'm going to wait until tomorrow to get the markets back open again, try to put that money back to use, see if we can generate some income from it, right? Well, one of the things that we really try to focus on here, again, is the velocity of money and putting that money to use as effectively and efficiently as we can. Now, we have a trade that is called the buy the close, sell the open, which tries to capitalize on this. It puts our money to use overnight. Now, if you're not familiar with that particular strategy that we use inside of our trading room, I will drop a link to the training video of that particular strategy in the comment section here below. This video is not necessarily about that strategy. It's just pointing out that we try to create strategies or opportunities that we can use our money overnight and make that as efficient as possible. Well, the Theta Fairy trade is probably the granddaddy of all examples of putting your money to use overnight. So let's go ahead and jump in and talk about what it is, how it works, and how we put it together. So most of you are familiar with the story of the Tooth Fairy. When I was a little kid and we lost a tooth, you'd put the tooth under your pillow and we would wake up in the morning and get $1. That's kind of dating me, but that's what we got, was $1. We were happy to get $1. But we have a trade that we have affectionately deemed or called the Theta Fairy trade, because this is essentially a strategy that you put on at the end of the trading day after the market is closed. You go to bed. It is a set it and forget it setup. And then in the morning you wake up, there should be $100 underneath your pillow. So the Theta Fairy trade, what is it? How does it work? Why do we like it so much? What is the setup? Well, let's talk about it a little bit. And really the question here is, is there a way, is there an approach that you can use to utilize your money overnight? Can you create a trade? It's a very, very high probability trade. It has the potential of producing a $100 profit overnight as you sleep. And can you do that? Can you build that type of trade with a high level of consistency and a low amount of risk? So that's what we believe we have with the Theta Fairy trade. And of course, who doesn't want an extra $100 a day as you wake up in the morning? It's a good way to start your day. I have noticed a lift in the motivation and spirits of our trading room members when they wake up every morning and the markets, the cash markets, haven't even opened yet, and we're already up $100 on the day. They absolutely love the trade. So what's the idea here? Well, first of all, let me go through the results of the trade here. We've been working this trade since August officially in the trading room. I've been doing this trade for 10 years. But we started it officially here in the trading room back in August. We look at taking it every single day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every single week, we're looking every day to put this trade on. It doesn't always mean that we're going to get one on. Sometimes it will not meet our parameters. But in the last month of doing this, there's probably been 2 occasions where it just hasn't met our qualifications for setting that trade up overnight. So almost every day, not every day, but almost every day, we're going to have a shot at doing this trade, putting $100 on underneath our pillow as we wake up in the morning, so to speak. We've done 28 of these trades officially now as a group in our trading room. 27 have been winners. 1 was a loser. The average win, as you might imagine, is a $100 profit. That's the target profit exit that we set for these trades. Once we hit $100 profit, we are automatically kicked out of the trade. The average loss, well, we've only had 1 loss. It was a $168 loss. And I will tell you, this is not making excuses, but that particular loss, had we held that trade longer into the day, it would have actually turned into a full profit of $100 as well. I just wanted to scalp the E-minis that day. We had an E-mini position on. This is a trade that we do with the E-minis, by the way. So I needed to exit this trade. But nevertheless, it's 27 winners, 1 loser. Capital deployed, it takes about $12,000 to do this trade. We use this trade, we use the E-minis, the ES, to do this. It is a credit strangle setup, and so it's going to take about $12,000 of capital to do the setup. Now, a couple of questions that we get all the time in the trading room. There is a huge desire, for some reason, for our trading members to alter or modify this setup, and one of the most seemingly appealing ones is to go from a credit strangle, which is an undefined risk trade, to a defined risk trade, which is a credit spread. And you can go from $12,000 down to about $2,000 and still get the potential of a $100 profit. We don't do that. We don't want to do that. And that is a completely different trade than what we're talking about here. There's a tremendous amount of leverage. There is a tremendous amount of risk in that spread. So that's not what we're looking at here. So this trade does take $12,000 of capital to do. But if you could, in fact, generate an extra, say, $100 a day, $500 a week, $2,000 a month, let's knock off a few days for days that either don't work or days that we don't take the trade. Let's say that it's, $1,600 a month. That's $20,000 in a year. Would that be worth deploying $12,000 of capital for? We love it. We think that it absolutely is. Okay. So what are the rules for the trade? How do we work? Well, we are trading the E-minis, the ES. That's what we're trading. It does take about $12,000 of capital to do it. And we are putting on a credit strangle for a 1 day to expiration. So this is going to be a position that is going to expire the very next day. We do pick strike prices where we would be willing to take an assignment. So if you're not familiar with a trade that we do that we call the super wheel trade, most of you are probably familiar with what is called the standard wheel trade. We have a trade that is called the super wheel trade, where we employ a credit strangle on a position, and if the underlying was able to push way up to our short call leg, we would be willing to take an assignment on that. We would be willing to take a short position on that, and then we would cash flow it by selling covered puts. Likewise, on the put side, we have sold a naked put down here on the credit strangle, and if the underlying was to fall all the way down to here, we would take a long position there, take an assignment, take a long position, and then cash flow that by selling covered calls. So one of the keys here, the method to the madness here, the overall idea strategy should become very apparent to you here by the end of this video. But really the secret sauce, if you will, is picking the right strike prices, being very comfortable with your technical analyses, your support resistance walls, and picking strike prices that you would feel comfortable getting assigned at. That way, you don't worry about the risk. How can you build a trade that, number 6 here, is a set it and forget it trade? How can you build a trade that you don't care about overnight? Well, you pick levels that you would be okay at getting assigned at. Okay. We generally put this trade on, and we're trying to get somewhere between a credit of 6 to 8 points. So we're going to try to bring in 6 to 8 points of credit. We're going to set our take profit to get out of the trade when we have actually achieved $2 of credit, all the way up to maybe $2.50 credit. Usually we're shooting for around $2.25 credit. So again, if you put on a trade for $6.25 credit, you would take it off with an automatic take profit order at a $4 debit, and you would be capturing $2.25 of that overall $6.25 credit. Okay, so we're usually looking at around a 25 to 30% capture, somewhere in that range. Sometimes it can go up to as high as 35% take profit capture. You can use a stop loss with this setup. It is 3 times the desired capture amount. The desired capture amount is $100. So the maximum we would let this trade go against us before you stop loss yourself out would be $300. That usually, we just had a trade last night I'm filming this on September the 28th. We just had our trade last night that, by the way, finished again fully profitable, but it really bounced around. It really bounced around in the overnight session. And we still, with all of the volatility that we had, we still didn't get to our 3 times credit stop loss. You need a movement of about 60 plus points in the S&P, in the E-minis overnight to even get close to that 3 times stop loss level. So there's a pretty wide range of fluctuation that the market can have overnight, and it still doesn't really affect this trade. It is a set it and forget it trade. This is not a trade that you have to get up all night long and monitor and watch. You put it on, you let it run, and in the morning you should have your result and be able to see what that result is. Okay, so a little bit of, again, background on this trade. We do have a full plethora of trading strategies that we employ in our trading room. It is not just about zero DTEs, even though we do a ton of zero DTEs. We probably do more zero DTE trades than anybody else out there. And to my knowledge, nobody has our track record. Nobody has a setup that I have seen with zero DTEs where every single day you truly have the potential to make $1,000 a day. It doesn't mean that we will. There's no guarantees in the marketplace, but every day we have that potential to bring in at least $1,000 in profit. Today was, I think, a fairly typical day for me, $1,550 profit on our zero DTE for today, September the 28th. So I don't know that there's any place you're going to go that you're going to find the win ratios and the profit potential that we have, but this video is not about our zero DTEs. It is about this overnight trade. Okay, so these are the results here. These are the results from our last week's performance review, which, by the way, we do update all of our performances every single week. We're very transparent in our results here with all of our strategies. But of course, we are now 3 new days into this week. And so we're up to 28 trades now. We've taken 28 of these trades we've had taken 29 trades. 28 have been winners. 1 has been a loser. Again, the winners average $100. The one loser that we have had was a $168 loss. So very accretive, has an awesome positive expectancy in terms of trading results. And so one of the things is, if you had the possibility to make an extra $1,500 or $2,000 a month in overnight trades while you sleep, how hard would you work to master this setup? I have had a lot of conversations lately with people that want to make money but just aren't willing to put in the work. This is a trade that's worthwhile learning. It really is. So let's just take a second and let's pop into my account and let's pop into our Discord trading room, and I'll kind of walk you through the setups and what they look like. So this is our trading account. This is what we call the live trading room. This is the model portfolio that we use. I employ roughly $100,000 here in this example account, and this is where we build real trades to demonstrate to you guys what the real potential is. We timestamp everything that we do here, and we do have a overnight Theta Fairy trade here already up and running. So let me just kind of walk you through some of the numbers here on this, and then we'll look at some of how we post these overnight. So you can see I do have about 12,000 of capital. This is what it's going to take. Right now, the E-minis were down 13 points as I'm filming this. It's about midnight Mountain Time on September the 28th. We're down about 13 points at 13.17, and we have sold a credit strangle here. So we've got a 36.60 put, we've got a 37.95 call. These are both levels that I would be willing to take an assignment at. I would be willing to get long at 36.60. I would be willing to get short at 37.95. So, sometimes people are like, well, I don't like undefined risk trades. It's not undefined. It's very defined. You would be short at 37.95. You would be long at 36.60 if you got assigned. You don't have to come up with any extra capital or buying power. You've already put the money up for the trade. You can see I brought in a credit on this one. The credit on this one was a little higher than normal. It was about $8.75. And again, the nominal value is $50, so you cut that basically in half, and that's our credit of $437. Now remember, of that $437 that's coming in, I'm only looking to capture $100 of it. That's why we usually only need a 20, 25, maybe 30, 35% capture rate on our trades. You can see I've already put that working order in. You can see that again, I got in at 875. I've got a take profit limit order in right now at 675. That order is working. So again, there's nothing for me to do overnight here other than just let that trade continue to work. So again, you can see there's some of my orders right there. Let's put in just the E-minis so we can see these. There's the close from yesterday's order. That's obviously already expired. But here was our orders for today. So again, I'm on Mountain Time, Mountain Standard Time. Market closes at 2 o'clock. Cash markets close at 2 o'clock. So I put this trade on at 2:30. This is in the after hours in the futures market. I put it on at 875. And then after the evening session started, I put on my take profit order at 675. So I'm trying to capture basically $2 here on this trade. Now let's take a look at how we record these and how we track all of these inside of our live trading room. So this is a look inside of our trading room. These are all of our trading channels here. These are all of the different trading strategies that we employ. Volatility trades, bear market trades, undefined risk trades, dragonflies, pairs, buy, close, sell, open, positive Vegas spreads, $50, commodity trades, gold trades. Here's the Theta Fairy trade. Okay, so we go to the Theta Fairy channel, and you can see that here's all of the trades that we do. Again, I want to reiterate for those of you that are not members of our program, one of the things that we do that I just kind of perfunced, I just thought everybody did this, and it's just not the case. We record and we document every single trade that we do. There's never a question about whether our results are good, bad, or indifferent because every darn trade that we do gets recorded. So you can track them all right in here. But I'll just go through and I'll show you a couple of the last ones that we did here. So this is a take profit order here from this particular trade. This was on the 26th. We got in at $8 credit. We got out at $6 credit. There's $100 under our pillow. The next one here, we got in at a $7.25 credit. This was yesterday. And then we got out at a $5 debit. Again, pocketing about $100. Here's our trade from tonight. Got in at $8.75. I've just put a message in here that I'm looking for only a 2-point profit on this one versus the 2 1/4 that we usually look at to try to build a higher probability on this trade. But all of our trades are documented in here. So that's a quick overview of the Theta Fairy trade. So that's an overview of our Theta Fairy trade. It has been a tremendously profitable trade. It has been a very exciting trade. I think anytime you can drop an extra $1,500 or $2,000 into your wallet every month and do it while you're sleeping, it's a pretty exciting addition to. It's been a great value add to our trading room. For those of you that are members of the trading room, if you still have questions on these, of course, you can direct message me. You can DM me anytime inside the Discord server. For those of you that are not members of the trading room and maybe want to learn a little bit more about this strategy, we do have a free, no obligation, 1-week trial that you can sign up for to be part of our live trading room if you like it. You can sign up for a first month. If you get to the end of your first month and you don't feel like this is a trading room that offers you trading strategies, ideas, approaches, and setups that you've never seen before, and or that the results don't just absolutely blow you away, I'll give you 200% back. 200% back on double your money back on your first month's tuition. So there's no absolute risk of giving us a go. I'll drop a couple of links in the description box. I'll drop a couple of links in the comment box below as well of the free trial link, a link to the 200% no risk guarantee, and also to our buy the close, sell the open strategy in case you're not familiar with that. So thanks, guys. Hope you're having a good week out there trading.